So today we'll be looking at a very brief overview of the peer-to-peer design pattern. So first of all, this is used in distributed application architecture. So let's say we have to perform a particular task or we have a work to do. So the workload is divided between several peers. Peers are equally privileged and equally potent, like each of them have equal capability in terms of computing, we can say, in contrast to client server. So client server architecture, what happens is there is one server and it's performing some computation, contacting the database and replying to various clients. So a single server is serving a lot of clients, but here it's not like that. All of the computer nodes are acting as peers that are equal. So each of them is both suppliers and consumer of resources. In client server, clients are consumers and the server is the supplier of resources. But here each of the peers is both the suppliers and consumer of resources. Now peers make a portion of their resources. What we mean by resources: processing power, disk storage, network bandwidth, directly available to the other peers without need for central coordination. So let's say one peer wants to use some of the computing power of another peer, so it need not go to a master. So there is no master slave relationship. It need not go to a master and then say I would like to have some computing power from that node, so and then the master will allow it and then it will go. So it's not like that. It can directly access the computing power of its peers. Nowadays diverse peers are introduced in this architecture. So each of the peers is having their unique capabilities so that the virtual community thus formed is able to perform tasks which are much beyond those which can be performed by a single node. So looking briefly into history, this was made popular by Napster, which was a file sharing services or originally used for sharing music. Okay, thank you friends.